Welcome back. In this session, we learn about built-in functions and we explore some important built-in functions in Python. Dear friends, one of the reasons for Python's popularity is its extensive collection of built-in functions. See, the built-in functions offer a wide range of common functionalities and they are always available for use in any Python program without the need to import any additional libraries. That is, they comes with Python interpreter by default. Actually, these built-in functions reside in the built-in namespace. That is, they are part of this built-in namespace. What is this built-in namespace? The built-in namespace refers to a predefined and immutable collection of functions, classes, objects, and exceptions that are built into the Python interpreter itself. Because built-in functions are part of the built-in namespace, okay, which comes or which builds into the Python interpreter by default without importing any additional libraries, all the names which are available in this built-in namespace, let it be predefined functions, classes, objects, and exceptions, we can directly use in your programs. Okay. So we are interested in built-in functions, but this built-in namespace contain many more. Actually, the constructor underscore built-ins refers to the built-in namespace. Okay, and if you want to list all the names in this particular built-in namespace using directory function, we can list all the names which are available. That is the predefined functions, classes, objects, and exceptions which are available in built-in namespace. So let us list out and see all these names. So there are so many names. And if you want to know how many are there, using the length function, you can know how many are there. How many names are there in this built-ins. Okay. So, okay, there is something missing. So it starts with double underscore. Generally, double underscore is called dunder. Okay. So double underscore. Okay. So there are actually total 161 names are there. In that, there are some predefined functions are there, classes are there, objects are there, and also exceptions are also available. Okay. So these are all the, names which are available in built-in namespace. Okay. Of course, there are so many names. You can just scroll down and check. Some of them you might be knowing and some of them you need to explore. Of course, it's very difficult to learn or remember 161 names, my dear friends. Some important functions we try to explore now. Okay. Of course, we are exploring only the built-in functions. Now, let us explore some important built-in functions in Python classified based on their functionality. See, because there are so many built-in functions available in built-in namespace, it is very difficult to remember all the names. So, we classify them based on their functionality. Of course, even under this classification, we are not going to explore all the functions. We explore some important functions. Some of these functions you already seen and some of these functions we'll see later on in this course. So we need to understand this as an overview of important built-in functions in Python classified based on their functionality. Okay. So let us start with the first classification, that is type conversion functions. See, if you observe, some of these functions we already explored. If you remember this odd function, CHR function, we already explored. Even this bin, oct, and hex also we already explored. If you remember this bin function convert an integer to binary format. Similarly, octal function converts integer to octal format. Hex function convert integer to hexadecimal format. And what about this? The next one. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay. Now, what about this odd function. See, it converts a character to a Unicode point. Okay, you can take a character and you can get the Unicode point of that. Okay, and the CHR function converts the Unicode point to a character. So CHR converts a Unicode point to a character. So you can take some random number like say 3077. Oh, it is a Telugu alphabet. So you can explore with this char function, which converts Unicode point to a character, and odd function converts a character to a Unicode point. See, for every character in Unicode system, there is a Unicode point associated. So from character, we can get the Unicode point, and from the Unicode point, we can get the character using this odd and char functions, right? And what about this int, float functions and eval functions? Let us explore them. See, int converts a string integer to integer number. Of course, here it should be a base 10 system, and we should not have decimal point here, sir. Int cannot convert that into an integer. Please be careful. Okay. Then what about the float? Same case. The string real number is converted to real part. So you are going to get converts a string or number to a floating point number if possible. So that if possible is very, very important. And next comes this eval function. It is very, very useful function we are going to explore. Okay. See, generally they are this int, float and this eval function are mainly used together with this input function. See, for example, if you are having some expression like this, using this eval function, I can evaluate that and I can get the answer. Is that clear? So these are some type conversion functions. Clear? The next classification is mathematical functions. So here are some important mathematical function. First one is absolute function. It gives you the absolute value of a number. For example, if I give you minus 23, the answer is 23. So it gives you the magnitude. Suppose if I give plus 23, the magnitude is 23 only. And there is a max function which returns largest item in an iterable or largest of 2 or more arguments. So for time being, let us consider 2 or more arguments and let us find largest of those numbers. Okay. So what is the largest of these 3 numbers? 45. Okay. Maximum of the 3 numbers. We can also find minimum of 3 numbers. Okay. Then we have this sum, but it returns sum of elements in an iterable. Okay. So for sum, you cannot directly give the argument, sir. We need to take a list. Okay. So let me give you the list. Now for this, we can find sum of all the numbers here. 23 plus 45 plus 21. Then we have this power function. Okay. Let me use this power function. So power function, what it will do? Suppose you give 2 arguments, you are going to get first argument power second argument. So 2 power 3, 8. Of course, we have directly this, double star operator, which give you 2 power 3. But using this power function, we can get 3 power 4 or first argument power second argument. And of course, we have this round function rounds a floating point number to a specified number of decimal values. For example, if you write say 5 by 3 and you want up to a 4 decimal values. Okay. So you are going to get the answer. Up to 4 decimal values, you can round that value of this number. So that is about mathematical functions. Next, we have this sequence functions, which are applicable on the sequences like list, range, tuple, etc. So this length function returns length of an object. We already seen this length function, if you remember, to find length or number of names in the built-ins, the built-in namespace. Clear? So you already use this 161. There are 161 names. Okay. Not only that, you take any sequence in that how many names or how many values are there. We can find out using this length function. See, this sorted is one more very interesting. You can sort a list. Suppose you are having a list. Okay. So let me take one list. Say 1, 5, 3, 2, 8, 6. Okay. So what this sorted function will do, sir? It will sort the list in a sorted order. Am I clear? Of course, we have other functions. To understand these functions, we need to have the knowledge of this containers, actually the sequences, their operations we need to understand. Okay, these are some of the functions which helps you in doing those operations. Okay, so these are the container functions for creating, the built-in data structures like list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Okay, we'll explore them when we talk about the built-in data types. Okay. The next type of classification is input-output function. We have a separate session on this input-output functions. Okay. Then we have this other utility functions. This range is very, very interesting, sir. Okay. Generally, we use this range with, for loops. Okay. For I in range, say 4, I want to print the numbers. Print I. So this range function will contain the values, sequence of values from starting from 0 till 4 minus 1. If it is 4, 1 less than that. So you can see the numbers in that range, 0 to 3. All those numbers we are going to get. Of course, this range we can also print with, some starting value and some ending values. Suppose you want to start with 1 and end with 5. Of course, 5 will not be printed, 1 less than that will be printed. So we can print from 1 to 4, the numbers we can get it. Or you can do something like, 10 to 30 in multiples of 5. You can get the numbers 10, 15, 20, 25 like that. So this value, how much common difference between those numbers you want to keep. So this range is used to get the sequence of numbers in a given range. Okay, and you can also have a common difference between them. Is that clear? So that is how this range function works. Then this all, generally they are used with list, tuples and other things. In a given list, you want to check whether at least one element is true, then you have to use any. In a list, you want to check whether all the elements are true, then you can use this all. Okay, so let us check with one example, sir. Okay. Now I take 12, 34, 0. So I want to check whether all the elements in this list are, true. True means non-zero. So you get false because there is a 0 fellow. Suppose if I give all non-zero numbers, it will give you, true. Now any one fellow is true, we are checking. So it is true because at least one fellow is true, then it will return true. See, this format is very, very interesting function, sir. We are going to explore this mainly with print function. Okay. For formatting the print or, for formatting the output, we are going to use this format function. So together with print function, we are going to explore this. Clear? The next one is object inspection functions. See, my dear friends, in Python, everything is object. You take a number. So that number is associated with address. So the number is having a value and it is also having an identifier. So generally in C Python implementation, that identifier is memory address like that. So ID will return the identity or memory address of the object. Type returns the type of object. For example, we use some list here. Okay, something like this I used. So what type of object is this? I want to check. So it tells it is a set. Or suppose instead of this flowered brackets, if I use square brackets, what happens? What type of object is this? So it is a list. So this type function will tell you what type of object, okay, is the given one. Of course, there are some other functions like callable, returns true if the object appears callable. That is, if it is a function or not. To check that, we are going to use this callable. Am I clear? So these are some common built-in functions in Python, each serving a specific purpose and providing essential functionality for Python programming. Okay.